Hey, it's your girl Genuine Nard back with another video in the breakage series. Okay, so this series to me is the most important research and work that I have done since I've been talking about building a good routine that's going to get your hair to grow at its natural rate and hair growth retention. So if your hair is breaking faster than it's growing, you're going to get stuck in the same loop I was in, right? So I would get my hair to grow to a certain length and then it would start breaking. I had no idea why. I'd go to a stylist, and the only solution was at that point I needed a trim, which was usually 2, 3 inches of cut. And I'd be starting all over, trying to get it to grow, breaking for a reason I don't understand, and then getting it cut. And it kept my hair stagnated right here at my shoulder length for years. So this series talks about the 6 most common reasons that our hair breaks. And we've talked about a few already. So if you haven't seen those videos, go back after this and check them out. It is hard water, too much heat. How hot is too hot for your hair? Most people don't know the answer to that question. I didn't know either. So it's not like, miraculously I know something. And then the next one was about friction. So this builds on friction with the next most common insidious thing that people are doing and they don't even know it, and that is tension.
We talked about one type of behavioral breakage, which is friction. And I want to take a minute to talk about another behavior, which is tension. This doesn't actually cause breakage, but traction alopecia. Now, traction alopecia is caused by repeated trauma to hair follicles or from pulling your hair back into tight hairstyles. If you have traction alopecia, you might have some of these symptoms: itching, redness, folliculitis or pustules, multiple short, broken hairs, or thinning hair concentrated around the hairline. Tension pulling is self-inflicted. Now let's look at some of the causes. It's usually pulling too tight, for too long, too often. It can be as simple as parting your hair in the same place over and over again, or pulling your hair at the hairline with heavy gels or glues. It can be tight ponytails, tight braids, tight weaves, weave glue, or heavy hair locks. First, let's start with braids. They are beautiful and they express our heritage and culture. And if done right, they can be a great protective style that allow you to grow your hair without any potential friction damage. But you cannot fix poor hair habits by braiding your hair. And if they're done wrong, braids can cause more harm than good. This goes for all twisted hairstyles, from braids, locks, twists, and coils. If your hair is damaged and weak before you braid it, it will stay damaged and weak in that braid. And as soon as the braid comes out, usually so will your hair. There are things, though, that you can do to make braids work for you. Do a few deep conditioning treatments weeks before you get your braids. Use something with protein preferably. And if your hair is breaking, skip the braids until that is resolved. Next, 2 to 3 days before you get your braids, wash your hair. Dirt and product buildup can be very sharp, and as you're handling your hair a lot in braiding, it's more likely to get damaged in the process. Plus, have a little mercy on the person braiding your hair. Try gentler styles like a 2-strand twist or even a 1-strand coil. Go knotless to reduce the tension in your hairstyle. And do not use rubber bands in your hair ever, or your sweet baby's hair. They almost always pull way too tight. The goal is to have your hair gathered and protected, but not pulled. Try bigger braids. The smaller the braid, the greater the tension. And don't put your hair in braids and just forget it. You still have to keep up with your daily hydration, sealing with oil, protecting your braids as you sleep. And you can wash your hair while it is in braids. Washing and conditioning can feed your follicles with nutrients as it cleans. And don't leave your hair in braids too long. If you're getting lint and buildup on the top of your braid knot, you've probably worn them too long. Think of braids like wearing a cast. Casts are protective, but if you wear one too long, the muscles become weaker. Same thing can happen to your hair. The longest I would suggest wearing braids would be 6, 8 weeks tops. Okay, wigs and weaves can be cute. And wigs and weaves are a great protective style. That's why celebrities live in them. All of them do this. You can be photo ready and you not have to do a lot of damage to your hair. But wigs and weaves kind of do what they want. And they love to pose wrong, wrong, very, very wrong for the camera. Now, if you are sewing in a weave, don't braid your hair too tight. And I don't know who invented these lace front wigs. They can pull your hair out faster than tweezers on a lace front wig. And do not use bonding glue on your wigs and weaves or any glue in your hair at all. I have never seen bonding glue not pull out a ton of hair when you are trying to wash it as well. And limit contact with your delicate hairline. Just remember, wigs and weaves are for fun and not forever. So why are we wearing our hair this tight? It looks like it hurts because it does. Please stop doing this. Loosen up your braids, dreads, cornrows, ponytails, wig pins, weave clips, all of it. Because once the damage is done, there is no cure. Traction alopecia is often permanent. But if you stop the behavior early, you can regrow hair over time. The best thing I can tell you is to be gentle with your hair and never, ever start down this path.
The thing about tension that is crazy is that most of us believe that the tighter we pull, the longer our hairstyle is going to last. Or maybe if we pull it tight enough, we can pull that texture out, right? So you can't tell the texture around the hairline. But your hair is just not infinitely strong, and these are delicate areas. So if you pull it so tight that it no longer has any texture, sometimes it'll just pull it right on out. So I've been talking to women a lot about this subject. And I would say 80 or 90% of women with braids, weaves, wigs, locks do not have any idea why their hair is getting that traction alopecia. So, this will tell you why it's pulling it too tight. And I will tell you, I understand this experience from my own experience. I went to get my hair done at this beautiful salon, and the lady was pulling my braids so tight as she was braiding that I'm starting to cry. So I asked her, "Hey, I mean, what's going on? Do you like me? Have I done something to you? Cause ouch, this is hurting." So of course, here's the flip. Stop being tender-headed. As if I'm gonna be able to say, I don't know what people want you to respond to that with. Like, oh, okay, it don't hurt no more. It's still, I'm doing this because it hurts. Anyway, so long story short, I sat there in that woman's chair and cried while she's pulling my hair so hard that for days afterwards, I put ice on it, right? Because I'm getting all kind of little pustules, and I paid $200 for that. So here's our lesson learned from that. Before you get your hair done, braid it, weave, any other type of hairstyle from a stylist, a professional, go sit in the waiting room and listen. If it sounds like some kind of struggle is happening back there, right? If you have a whole, if you hear ouch or oops or stuff that makes you uncomfortable, just grab your bag and politely leave. because getting your hair done is a luxury. You should not leave with an injury. That is not normal. And I've been showing little clips of braids that you can do done right. I love braids and I have my hair in one of my favorites. This is a halo braid, but I started right here so that there's no tension on my hairline. And this halo braid will last for about a week, right? Between washes. So from one wash to the next, I don't have to touch my hair. And it is so easy and convenient. And I love it because it's also no friction because it's completely up off of my shoulders. So find a hairstyle you like. Find a hairstylist that understands your pain points and then start treating your hair more gently. That's what tension is about. It's being too rough, pulling too much, too hard, too often. Your hair can't take it. Okay, so that's that. All right, so before I go, if you like this one, go ahead and click like. Also, click subscribe and ring the bell so you can get notifications on other videos that are coming up in this series. I'm going to post a video every Wednesday. And if you've already subscribed, thank you so very much for supporting me through this year of learning how to do this whole YouTube thing. I hope you feel like you have a friend on the internet. And lastly, let me know who you are in the comments. I'm letting you know who I am and share this with whoever you know who has hair. All right. Well, look, I know you could be spending your time anywhere on YouTube. I appreciate you spending a little of your time with me and know that I'm wishing you absolute success. All right. Bye.
Hey, I hope you enjoyed this one. Tell me how it turned out for you in the comments. Click like, subscribe and ring that bell for all the videos in this playlist, or just view these next two. And thank you again for watching. Alright, that's it.